How's it going, everybody? Now, we got an outrageous claim here. Apparently, One Piece fans don't think Luffy is strong.
Monkey D. Luffy
what are we
disrespect.
Doing? Don't disrespect my goat to my face. What are we doing?
As a Luffy stan, it is my utmost duty to make sure that any disrespect
nobody talking shit
Monkey Jesus
on our
has
goat.
To be
Monkey D.
has
Jesus
to be negated, needs to be shut down. And yes, this is steel. Don't worry about it. I'm okay. I know how to.
Hold on.
I think I know how to use one of these things.
I do
suppose.
Monkey D. Luffy.
Is that a meat canyon
in
video?
terms of physicality, muscle mass, world's strongest man competitions, apparently people don't think so highly of Luffy. This may sound crazy because, as far as we know,
that is crazy.
Luffy physically is a juggernaut. Among shonen protags as a whole, he's got to be up there as one.
Is it? I think Luffy's top 10 in the verse, bro.
On the best to do it. However, apparently within the verse itself, people, they're doubters. And I had a tweet about this because it actually shocked me how Luffy was ranked so low. So
okay, side note, I saw some, like, dude, I barely go on fucking Twitter, and this is one of the reasons why right now. I go on Twitter yesterday, and it was, like, putting Luffy and Zoro in, like, Kid and Killer's place. And people were saying Shanks would have one-tapped Luffy and Zoro. What? I will not stand for that. I don't care who you... Nobody's one-tapping fucking Zoro. That's not happening. I don't...
out a YouTube poll that I saw from an account named Frightbringer. And
I'd give that to Garp, too. Wait, is it... Garp or Whitebeard, definitely.
From a total of 14,000 votes, 14,000 people, we have Burgess, Luffy, Prime Garp, and Prime Whitebeard. Prime Garp was number 1 at 64%.
That makes sense.
Prime Whitebeard number 2 at 20%. Burgess at...
that is crazy putting him above Luffy, though.
Huh? What the fuck? Burgess is at number 3 at 11%.
Luffy don't even need Gear 2 for him, bro. Is that an outrageous take?
And then Gear 5 Monkey D.
Luffy don't need Gear 5 for him, bro. I'm telling you. He was going band for band with Kaido with Gear 4, bro.
Yo, what are we doing?
Talking crazy.
This is undeniable. Monkey D. Luffy disrespect. But I can understand why. I can't say it's completely inaccurate, but at the same time, I think it is absolutely wrong. So,
outrageous.
First of all, let me give credit to it, even to Burgess.
Nah, get him out of here. Get him fuck out of here, bro. Back it up.
Let's do this.
Back it up,
First of all, Prime Garp. It's pretty obvious that Prime
Yeah.
Garp is, in terms of physicality, he's nuts. Garp, right now, at his old age, is a star. I mean, we all knew 2 years ago when he was younger, and probably healthier back then too, because he was younger by default.
I mean, Garp's still a beast now. Don't get me wrong.
A giant iron ball. Where it came from, nobody knows.
Is he able to beat Luffy, though? Not just in physical strength, but mental strength as well. Because will Garp really be able to fight Luffy trying to kill him? Is he capable of... I mean, you already saw that shit at Marineford.
But it just manifested on a Looney Tunes moment. And he just...
Luffy's dead-ass serious about getting the One Piece, bro. If Garp's in his way, Luffy will throw hands. He don't give a fuck.
At the straw after before they coup-de burst out of there, before they go over to Thriller Bark. So we all know, oh yeah, that was a crazy moment there for Garp at his old age. We even saw recently in chapter 1087, at the beginning of the chapter, literally Garp just yeets San Juan Wolf, a giant with size enhancing.
Bro, I'm about to see this shit like in 2 episodes from now. Fuck off.
Size enhancing abilities, where he's roughly around 3 times the size of a number giant that we see in Wano.
Bro, Parker, if you don't want to get spoiled, just read the fucking manga.
He just gets yeeted. He just gets whoop, just tossed by Garp. And as far as you can tell, Garp wasn't struggling, wasn't heating, wasn't like no. Garp was still fighting for an extended amount of time afterwards.
So, since I'm already getting spoiled, let me know down in the comments. Was Garp soloing the Blackbeard pilots Pirates, or what was going on?
After he threw Sanhwan Wolf. The man is so physically endowed that this dude can make shockwaves by punching.
Yeah, I knew that.
Widespread shockwaves via punching.
We know Garp's nasty.
So this is Garp right now at his old age. Garp in his prime, we can easily assume, is a few times physically. He's a few times. You can definitely
say Garp's number one on that list.
How strong exactly, we really can't gauge right now. In the future, I'm guessing with a full rendition of Garp's physique when he was younger. But when he was training for Dan Chinjiao, he did pulverize, I believe it was 8 mountains to train for that duel. So physicality-wise, that is very impressive.
Your father knows about
I mean, that ass whooping was so bad, it gave that dude generational beef with Luffy.
To destroy
That's how bad the ass whooping was.
Just to train for a fight. And also, he has the battleship bags where he was doing this on the regular, just punching the hull of these battleships. Garp physically, I know is studly. And I can understand why folks have him ranked number 1, given what we see from his old age, and then trying to gauge where he could be when he was younger. And then there could be some sense of like infinitum scaling for Garp, where he's going to be, in most folks' minds, let's say the strongest guy physically in the story, no matter what.
Well, okay.
After Garp, there's Prime Whitebeard. And Prime Whitebeard getting a lot of votes also makes sense too. Particularly when a lot of folks, I think, have Prime Whitebeard in the pecking order above someone like Prime.
Hot take. This is how I feel about Luffy. I think he can hang with Prime Whitebeard and Roger. I'm not saying he can beat them. I'm not saying that. But I think he can hang with them.
Garp. We did see at an old age
he's not at a level to where he can beat him yet. But he can definitely scrap if he wanted to.
Physical strength in Marine
I don't know if he'd do anything, but he can scrap.
I would say, for sure, at that point in time, the strongest guy at the fort. Even when he got stabbed by Squad, had heart attacks, he was the strongest guy there. And physically, with one hand, stopped the charging ship when Squad was going on his self-elimination run. Just one hand, boom.
I know Whitebeard didn't want to just run in because they would have killed Ace, but I feel like he could have just ran in because he just kind of sat back taking those attacks, and then when he was critically injured, that's when he decided to move in.
And it's a huge galleon ship. It's one of their smaller Moby Dick ships. So, yeah. That's a very impressive strength feat on his part, for sure. At one point, after Little Oars Jr. gets taken out, one random Vice Admiral Giant tries to sneak Whitebeard.
Yeah, buddy, what do you think you're doing, bro?
He grabs him, smushes him, just smushes him against the ship, quake, and then he takes that very same giant and ragdolls him.
Yup.
Out of the way.
Side character. Get out of here.
Yeah, man. Physically, Whitebeard is disgusting. At old age and ill. Old age and in poor health, he was that nasty. In his prime, there's not necessarily that much direct things that we can look at for Whitebeard in his prime to gauge how strong he was physically. In the anime, they do add more stuff, where in the anime versus Oden, he does send Oden packing with a Quake Punch and so on. But in the manga, that's not there. But it is implied very strongly that he is physically stronger than someone like the Chadawan Oden when he's at his peak. There's also Weevil. In chapter 802,
Weevil. I don't hear nothing about no Weevil, bro.
Weevil is just as strong as Whitebeard.
Well, I really don't give a fuck about Weevil. I don't care if it comes out that he's the strongest motherfucker in the verse. I don't give a shit about him.
Younger years. And in that very same chapter, after the Kizaru gas, we do see Weevil, and there's a huge galleon ship on land. How'd it get there? He destroyed the
How'd it get there?
He destroyed the pirates, and I'm assuming one of their ships, or let's say their main ship, was just thrusted onto the land, probably by Weevil during the altercation in some way. So, physically, Whitebeard is phenomenal. And again, given his status in the World One Piece, I can understand why he gets a lot of votes. Burgess, though, lacks a lot of that status.
Yeah.
Most folks aren't peeping Burgess like that. Not at all. However, he does have the strong fruit.
I don't give a fuck.
He has the strong
I don't care.
Fruit. And we see him, like, literally take a mountain. Let's say a mountain.
I feel like Luffy could pick up a fucking mountain if he wanted
Garp
to.
Trained with defeat.
Zoro fucking deadlifts more than this.
Don Chinja, right? He takes a mountain and
what are we talking
carrying
about?
the mountain overhead comfortably.
And you can't tell me this dude's not on roids either, bro.
Throws that at Long Company before Law evades of the room. So physically, by default, given his powers, he's got to be strong.
No.
I mean, it's just, there's
And why is
no
Luffy
other way to
last?
say
So
it. He just got to be strong as hell. And we
not
saw
even-
him actually do things similar to Garp in Dressrosa. Garp is so strong in his old age. He has this thing called the Galaxy Impact. Woo!
Yeah.
And folks are waiting for the sauce. Absolutely. But the Galaxy Impact is a move that combines physical strength with a lot of hockey. And this main plaza area on Full Lead Island was just completely covered in a huge hockey-infused shockwave. It is one of the best-looking panels that Garp has ever gotten. And Burgess can do something similar, because Burgess did display the ability to also make shockwaves with physical
nothing you can
force.
tell me will
In
make
chapter
me like Burgess, bro.
737, he does display his shockwave elbow against Sabo. It's an elbow sort of strike, and then it's like a cone-shaped shockwave beam that just demolishes anything in its path. And he can do it with both elbows, with or without gear. So we see it in chapter 737, we see it in chapter 742, and then we also see him do this thing in chapter 787 called the Galleon Lariat against Sabo as well. Right after Sabo saves Luffy from Burgess, who's gonna try and kill Luffy, yeah, that, and he was gonna go for the Gomu Gomu no Mi, but Sabo stops that. And in the process, we have Burgess do the Galleon Lariat, where he takes that arm, he swings it really fast, and it's like a horizontal shockwave that went through Sabo and also the buildings behind him. So Burgess does have a lot of brawn.
I don't care,
LeBron,
bro.
he has a lot of physical power. And we see what he's doing in Dressrosa, and he is way stronger now, clearly, because he has the strong fruit. So how would the Galleon Lariat, how would the Shockwave Elbow look now after he's gotten the strong fruit? Pretty devastating shockwave-based moves. All done with predominantly what?
Like, I'm not saying he's weak or anything, but putting him above Luffy's crazy.
Physical strength. So I've done my part, I believe, as the content creator, to evenly lay out most of the sides here when it comes to why these people were ranked over Luffy.
Yeah.
Here's the
Get your breath back.
There are two things that just completely make all I just said before moot. Number one is this.
You might think
And I get
you
another
know this
ad.
post.
I don't care, bro.
They have leveled
That
up.
does look good, but I don't care. All needs to be
And
said.
number two is this.
Yep.
I'm not saying that Garp in his prime, for God's sakes, nor Whitebeard in his prime, or Burgess now,
That's not what we're saying.
are physically weak. No, they're phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal in terms of physiques.
Correct.
But Luffy in the Gear 5, you can argue has, I'm not going to say infinite strength, but he has the highest ceiling in terms of physical strength than any other cat we've seen in the story so far. That includes the Prime Garp, the Prime...
And I feel like, Gear 5 aside, Luffy's durability to tank hits is pretty damn fucking high.
And Burgess right now, even though he has a strong fruit. Kaido, when he's in full dragon form, is huge. So damn big. We literally saw him sit on top of a mountain like it was a toilet seat. That's how big Kaido is, all right? So the mountain that Burgess threw at Law, Kaido is sitting on that comfortably, and that's like not even half his body. That's how big Kaido is. Kaido's massive in dragon form. If he was in marine form, his base form alone would be probably just as long as like the main building marine form.
Okay, that's crazy.
How big Kaido is in dragon form. He's huge. And he got skipped, man. It's one thing for, let's say, muscle form Luffy to grab Kaido and slam around old school Mario style, right, on Bowser. If that's all we got, let's say, in terms of physique for Luffy in Gear 5, I can understand him being 4th place behind Garp, Whitebeard, and Burgess. But the problem is that he's giant form. That's the issue. Luffy
That is the issue.
gets an
I still don't think he
amount of
needs
physical
Gear 5
strength
to deal with Burgess.
when he's in giant
I'm gonna stand on that.
form. And Luffy can continuously amplify his size to the point where we see the Bajrang gun. And mind you, that's back in Wano country. Luffy, I'd argue, is physically stronger now than he was back in Wano country. Because his growth rate is just ridiculous. Like his powers are ridiculous. If Luffy wanted to, he could literally grab all of
And
Onigashima.
think about it now. Luffy's still, exploring Gear 5. He doesn't fully know how to use it yet. But once he does grasp how to use it, he's going to be a menace.
And move it around. He could rip Onigashima from the bedrock with a Bajran gun plus size fist and just move it around. Maybe even yeet it. We see the scale. We see the scale.
The only
man.
reason Luffy didn't destroy the island is because he knew people were in there.
Honestly, skipping Kaido and Kaido alone was enough. Because Garp 8 Mountain is prime, cool. But when Luffy's skipping Kaido, that's like, I mean, screw 8 mountains. That's like 800 mountains. He just,
yeah.
No. That's just too much. It's just too much. And then, just be able to,
Don't
let's say,
disrespect my boy. I'm going to say it again.
In a Bajran gun size, these things, in terms of physique, are just off the charts. So I can understand why folks would say that, you know, Prime Whitebeard, Prime Garp, and Burgess, particularly when it comes to the older guys, because a lot of the Prime era guys are put in a very, very, very positive light. So much so to where a lot of folks believe that it's virtually impossible for current era characters to be on that level. I disagree completely.
Yeah.
But the reality is that folks do have these sort of, let's say, visions of grandeur of the good old days of One Piece. And Prime Whitebeard and Prime Garp, they do head a lot of era. Fair enough. But no. No matter how good I think a Prime Garp is, I don't think he could ever be physically as good as someone like, let's say,
That is a
Joy Boy.
Hot take.
And I'd argue Luffy is on pace to be stronger than Joy Boy. Physically even. Yeah. Skipping Kaido is just the tip of the iceberg for Luffy in the future. But that's for the future.
Old Garp, yeah. Prime Garp, I don't know.
Right now, physically,
I don't know about all that.
I think Gear 5 is just too much. I think that Gear 5, he could, again, not necessarily be infinite in strength, but he could upscale his strength to a much higher
I agree with
ceiling.
everything you're saying,
Mind
but
you,
still,
we
Prime
just see, let's
Garp
say,
is...
one Bajran gun class
We still don't know
fist.
nothing about it.
What if he does two of them? Like a bazooka version of that? What if he can outstretch his
We just know that he could have captured Roger multiple times if he wanted to.
gigantic Bajran gun hands and just grab
Capture, not kill. Capturing somebody is a million times harder than killing them.
two islands? Like, it's
No chance, so that's what you got.
You can understand why the Garp, the Whitebeard, even the Burgess. But I got
No, I don't
if this
understand
is
the
horse
Burgess.
betting,
Get that
and
shit
this
out of my
horse
face.
called Monkey Jesus, Luffy, all my money goes on that horse. There could be a case here where, let's say, Oda, well, for the memes, Garp can still, let's say, beat Luffy in a wrestling competition or an arm wrestling match, whatever the hell. But at the end of the damn day, unless I see Garp be able to actually lift islands or something, say for Burgess, I got Monkey D. Luffy.
Yes, sir.
But let me know your stance on the subject matter at hand.
And what do you guys think about that? You think Luffy deserves to be at the bottom? I sure as hell don't. But, yeah, that was King of Lightning. You know, I'm going to drop a sub, and I'm going to like the video. Let me know what you thought of that. Yeah, but go check him out. King of Lightning. And, of course, oh, shit, wrong fucking thing. And, yeah, I'm bad at this. Okay, anyways, thank you for stopping by, and I hope you have a good day.